प्रोटीन देता हूँ प्रोटीन उसका प्रोटीन भी खाना खाने की तो पुराना है अभी का नहीं
Wow. Yeah, that was some pretty interesting footage. So real quick guys, before I go into a little bit more detail as to what you guys just watched, first and foremost, I hope everybody's doing well. My name is Jay. Welcome to my channel, The Ship Life. So, what you guys just saw was some footage that a anonymous subscriber and crew member on a cruise ship right now sent over to me a couple days ago. Now, I know a lot of you guys probably have a lot of questions. I know a lot of you guys, for example, are going to want to know what cruise ship this is. You're going to know who the crew member is. Guys, like I said, this was anonymous. Lately, I've been getting a lot of anonymous emails of videos and stuff going on cruise ships, and I've been wanting to show you guys. I want to show you guys for a lot of reasons. Yes, obviously the views are nice. However, there's just a lot of I believe there's a lot of misconceptions and a lot of miscommunication going on with cruise ships, and I'll explain in a minute. However, for those of you guys that have watched the video and you know what cruise ship this is, feel free to just put it in the comments below. I just don't want to give it out because the crew member did ask that everything can remain anonymous, you know, at least as much information as I can, just kind of keep it on the down low, just for his job safety. He doesn't want to get fired, obviously, and recording what's happening right now is kind of like a fireable offense if you guys aren't aware. However, I want to put this stuff out there because I believe at the moment there is a lot of miscommunication going on, again, with the cruise ship industry, and I believe this stuff needs to be documented because honestly, it's a part of history. And it's a very big deal among the industries right now, particularly the travel industry and of course the cruise ship industry. Now with that being said, as you guys saw in the video, there's just so much going on. Right now there are about, at least at the time I record this video, there are about 30 cruise ships worldwide that are still kind of at sea. None of them have passengers with the exception of, I believe, like 2 or 3 in the world right now. However, there's still a lot of crew on board, and at the moment, most of these cruise ships are at least trying to get the non-essential crew members off. Now, as you saw in the video, the crew member said that the ship is going back and forth to Gulfport to offload the non-essential crew members. And, you know, of course, there's a lot of moving parts regarding that. Now, the CDC is involved. Every time a cruise ship goes into port, the local governments are involved. And then what they're trying to do is get all the non-essential crew members off. However, there's a lot of things you got to take into consideration, right? The CDC has to allow them off after testing. On top of that, there's just the travel bans you have to consider as far as where the crew members can go, which is creating a really, really horrible situation for everybody. So, you know, they're just crew members that are stuck on ships with nowhere to go, and they're not working either. Now, from what I've heard from a lot of crew members, a lot of them are getting limited pay. However, we'll make that video another day as far as what's going on with the crew members while on board. But with that said, guys, I just want to make this video because, again, I believe there's just a lot of miscommunication going on. And as you saw in the video too, on this particular ship, they are running low on supplies like food, especially because a lot of the higher ups believe that if they were to bring certain foods on board, certain supplies, they could be contaminated and they could infect the ship. And if that happens, it could be a whole nother problem. Now, I want to make this very, very clear. Not every single cruise ship in the world right now with crew members are dealing with this particular situation, right? This is, I don't want to say an isolated case, but things vary from ship to ship. I don't want to put it out there like every cruise line and every cruise ship in the world right now is in quarantine and having a horrible time, right? I've talked to some crew members that are good friends of mine that are on ships right now that are having the time of their life. The crew bar is open every night. They got the ship to themselves and they're just partying it up until all this is resolved, whenever it does get resolved. But then you got cruise lines that are in the worst state right now where they're quarantined because they have confirmed cases of the coronavirus, and you know, there's nowhere for them to go. There's limited activities that they can do on board. But this ship right now is kind of in the middle. As you saw, they got limited access to you know, games and parts of the ship, but they just have to stay a certain distance away from each other, and they can't conjugate in groups bigger than 8 people. Now, with that being said, guys, I get that this is a crazy time. I just hope that everybody understands, and I'm not trying to put negative energy out there. I want everybody to keep their spirits up. However, like I said, I believe this needs to be documented. And right now, as far as I know, I'm probably the only person, especially on YouTube, in the world that is putting this kind of footage out there. Because again, I believe it needs to be documented, and I believe that it's not being known to the general public what's really going on, especially regarding the cruise ship industry. You guys have to understand that throughout this process, and even after all this is said and done, a lot of things are going to change. Now, the thing is that I've been getting asked a lot, and I will again be making a separate video on this. A lot of crew members and people keep asking me, for example, like why aren't the higher ups, and why isn't the cruise ship industry and cruise line CEOs, why aren't they telling the crew members of what's going on? Here's my theory. And once again, I'm gonna make a video on this, a full video. My theory is that the system is destroyed. And I've mentioned this in other videos. There's usually a flow of crew members that are coming in, coming out, finishing their contracts, etc., right? And what's happening right now is crew members are not technically at the moment, or most of them aren't being laid off, but they're telling them that they're getting put on vacation, right? They're doing this for two big reasons from what I understand. One, like I said, the flow is disrupted. They don't want the crew members to think that they're laid off or that they're fired, because if word gets around, a lot of the crew members will eventually try to find other work, and they will see the cruise industry as a non-reliable source of income. And if that happens, the cruise lines are gonna have trouble rebuilding their entire structure, which won't be good, right? Number two, when it comes to, in regard to that, honestly, the truth is, no matter if you're the CEO of the cruise line, or any cruise line for that matter, or any higher up, there is nobody out there that really can say for sure what's happening right now, because everything is still very unclear. As you see with cruise lines extending their travel bans, extending their suspensions, extending their operations, like there's just so much going on. So it's all just kind of like a confusing time. It's a sad situation, it really is. But again, guys, I do want to kind of just put this stuff out there, and I don't want to keep repeating myself. I'm gonna make this real quick. I don't want to, waste anybody's time. I'm gonna get ready to wrap this video up. But again, I just hope that everybody, whoever is out there that is a crew member, if you're stuck on a ship, I hope you guys are doing okay. I've been getting a lot of footage lately of situations just like this. And guys, just understand, I know you guys want more info, whoever's watching. I know a lot of you are going to be asking for more information, but when somebody sends me footage, I need you guys to understand that it is going to be 100% anonymous. With that said, if you're a crew member or if you're a passenger on board a ship and you want to send me information or footage for that matter, I'll leave my email right here below, and I'll also leave it in the description. That way you guys can send it, and just understand it will be 100% anonymous, and we can go from there. Anyway, guys, I hope everybody's doing well. I'm gonna get ready to wrap this video up. There's still a ton of videos that I have to do. You have any questions, comments, concerns, hit me up in my email, hit me up on my Facebook group page. If you guys haven't joined, please go ahead and join that. Hit me up in the comments, we can have a discussion. Like this video, please subscribe, please share also if you thought this video was good, or if you guys think that other people should see this, I'd greatly appreciate it. And yeah, I got more videos coming up, so you guys stay tuned. But until then, take it easy.